good or bad, at that state, that was what I was, what I created. And so I give it another try. I thought, think. I remembered I was boxing, and I remembered that the principle of boxing, fitness, dictated when you first start, you're not very fit. But if you keep at it regular, I'd seen that my fitness level would improve, did improve. I put that into the meditation, the principle of that. If I keep trying it, it will get longer. And maybe this cold sweat thing will eventually fade away. It made sense because was it the mind thing that made me that way? And like I said, there was lots of time to think. I was just with me, and I was just walking up and down. So every thought, every possible conceived idea would come into my mind, and it concluded, my mind concluded, give it another go, see if it gets longer. So I sat, it did last a bit longer, and then I sat again. Again it was the same physical problem, the shaking and the cold sweat, and sat a bit longer, and it didn't start, it didn't start at 2 minutes, it started at 3 minutes, and then I sat a bit longer, and then gradually it became longer and longer. Every day, every so many moments of the day, I would try it and jump back out quick, try it again, jump back out, try it again, jump back out. And it was exercising it and making it bigger, making it stronger, until in the end I tried it so much, so many times every day, and I was in that cell for something like 6 months, and I was trying, making it longer, and it became, I could sit for half an hour, and then I could sit for 1 hour, and I could feel something changing, and the feeling in my stomach, hate, which I'd been carrying around with me since I'd been locked up in prison and I'd been deserted by my brother and my common law wife. The hate I had was the feeling of being punched in the guts, and it was the feeling of hate became a bit less. It wasn't so intense. And then I sat, and it was getting longer. It was getting up to 1 hour and a half, and then 2 hours. And this feeling of hate was becoming less. Then 4 hours was gone completely. Hate was gone. But there was different, if I remember, that was the overview of the whole thing.
Yes.
But if we were talking about the mechanics of what was going on, then again it's a different explanation.
Because you just described that you had to overcome a physical barrier to start with, and now let's talk about what you actually did while you were sitting and until you reached those 4 hours, because that's a very important part, isn't it? What you are doing. There's so many people who sit in a lotus position and have no clue what to do, how to proceed forward.
Natural flow. So natural inner movement, inner process. Like we grow, that's natural, and in the same way we move on the inside in a certain way. We all flow in the same direction if we do the same thing. When we decide to end mind, so there's a definite pattern that relates to everyone of this inside flow toward ending of mind.
Okay.
So the first thing that I would call it all certain barriers that seem to hold you back, and the barriers connect to who you've created of yourself. So I was a hyper energetic person, always on the move. My body was my way that I communicated and the way that I lived. It was lots of energy. I was a very fit young man, and there was nothing I couldn't do with my body. I felt great in my body, extremely fit and in control. And so I would sit in the meditation. I recognized something about these processes that were starting to happen, to sit still. My body, everything about me was about movement, about physical movement. And yet I was trying to go against what was ingrained into my whole system, into my whole understanding. And I was going against that, what I'd been conditioned as, what I conditioned myself as, what I had pride in. And here I had to sit with my body still. And I would sit. And the body didn't want to sit still. It wanted to move. And I couldn't stop it from moving to start with. It was difficult. It would itch. And that was a barrier. I'll get up, I'm itching, I'm moving. You know, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I want to move. And I think, no, I have to sit still. Something in me knew it had to be still to see my mind.
Because
I couldn't even see my mind. It was all my body in the beginning.
Because you never read about how it should and should not be.
No.
You started off with that one sentence that you read in an article on the bus saying, stop suffering by stopping mind. And suffering by stopping mind. That's all you went on, didn't you?
Well, I recognized in order to get to my mind, my body wasn't letting me get there. I couldn't sit still. My body wanted to move. How can I deal with my mind if my body keeps wanting to move?
Yes.
If I get an itch, if I get uncomfortable, if it starts hurting, sat in a certain way. So there was all these physical barriers that were trying to stop me get to this goal, and that's stopping my mind. And I would fight, in a way, this determination that was granted to me, what I came here with, helped me to push. Recognition of the ability to become supremely fit, as I had to be as a boxer, was a determination that I could use to make me sit still suddenly. It had all been constant movement. Now the determination was to be still in movement. And first of all, there was itches. That would take me out of being sat still. Then there was pain, and determined to sit past the pain of the body. And the funniest thing, that every stage of getting past body barriers, I recognised there was a mental barrier there too. And when I would overcome the body barrier, there would be a certain release within my mind of something. And like the itching of the body, it would release this constant, never-ending whirlwind, because there seemed to be a connection between itch and whirlwind of thought. Anxiety of the mind seemed to show itself in the body as itching, constantly wanting to move. So I pushed past the itching, and then there was, for the body, there was pain. I had to push past the pain. And then suddenly I got past the pain, because I would be sitting maybe for an hour, whereas it was only a minute. There was a relationship between the emotion, the anger, the hate, and the relationship of the solar plex area. That was emotions, strong emotions. And I'd managed to, shall we say, conquer the negative emotion. And yet further, there was these thoughts. And for every thought that was stopped, I recognised that there was a tension that I'd never recognised before.